Ladies and gentlemen, gladiators, combatants, fighters, welcome to week 6 of the Sunday Night Fights 2018 season, live here for the first time since 2015 in the river's heart of Sholazar Basin. That night, Glenmorrow defeated Cathaldus in the Clash of Canadians, the first ever Canadian versus Canadian main event with the championship on the line. Tonight, McGregor will look to defend his title in the championship finale right there at the Maker's Perch, where it all happened back in 2015 for another dwarf juggernaut. And speaking of dwarf juggernauts, we have the enhancement enigma Garlen. There you see him running around in raptor form. He is going to be returning tonight for the first time in 2 years. Garlen, the multiple-time champion, returning to action here tonight against Smokythebear, his old rival from 2016. And it was Smokythebear who took Garland's spot in the playoffs when the Enhancement Enigma was unable to attend the Renegades Brawl that year. And to open things up here within Sholazar Basin, you see the jungle all around you, the waterfall as the backdrop, the banners are set, and the fighters are ready for our first fight of the evening. Tank versus tank here. We got Enderstone up against Salamon, the Sindorai Slayer, and the Wrathful Worgen. This was a fight that was scheduled for AFC 16. It was postponed, and here tonight we will have a treat for all of our viewers as the Demon Hunter and Death Knight get ready to face off here to open week 6. So Enderstone going to be lining up from the blue corner, Salamon the red. You see the banners indicating there with the markers. Horde and Alliance. Tank versus tank. Hero class versus hero class. And Salamon, being the former champion, will initiate the duel. So here we go. 2 minutes per round. Week 6 officially underway. There's Blood Drinker from Enderstone this first round. Going to be a back and forth filling out process. Keep in mind the new rules tonight, the ban being lifted on tanks and healers by Emperor Javar for the remainder of the season. We're at the midpoint mark in the season, and for the remainder of it, tanks and healers will be allowed to enter the arena. So Salamon and Enderstone, not a lot of health moving around here, but the damage is coming in, believe it or not, as they continue to swing away on each other. There was an agreement before the fight began that, depending on how the first round went, then they would both go DPS for the second. We'll see. Still a lot of time left in this first round. 5-round contest. And look at that, the double jump from Salamon, already utilizing the waterfall there. And Enderstone just going to sit back, relax, say, hey, you know what? You want to sit up there in the waterfall, that's fine. I'll wait for you down here. Now Enderstone going to give chase. This is what Amelia did to Javar, but Enderstone makes the leap. It was Amelia against Javar in Demonfall Canyon. Amelia using the terrain to her advantage. Ended up upsetting Javar and dethroning him that night. So here now, Salamon Metamorphosis Pop, the Wrathful Worgen, hammering away with some damage of his own. You see the new transmog, the new look, the new ruthlessness from Enderstone. That is as a result as they go up to another tier of the waterfall, or Salamon does at least, and Enderstone gives chase. Salamon double jumping all the way up to the second level of the waterfall, the steps here that the formation of the rocks have formed. Now on flying mounts, Enderstone going to give chase here and take the battle to Salamon. 10 seconds remaining in this first round. Are we going to see a knockout? Doesn't seem likely, but you never know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It will come to the rolls here in round number 1. No surprise there. What a battle back and forth between Enderstone and Salamon. However, they are both so skilled in their specializations as tanks. You didn't see the health move, but trust me, there's a lot going on in that fight back and forth in those exchanges. So here we go. Salamon will roll first. Big will verify the roll.
67.
67 from Salamon. Enderstone going to roll next. A 60 from Enderstone. So Salamon taking round number 1. And gentlemen, are we going to see DPS versus DPS here in round number 2? Almost simultaneously, both fighters changing to their off specs. And here we go. DPS versus DPS, round number 2 about to begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now as DPS versus DPS, we'll see who triumphs here. Salamon already down to 25%. Enderstone looking for the victory. Salamon almost into the red zone. Metamorphosis has not been popped. Now it comes out. Here comes the pain with it. Enderstone down, rocked, and then bounces right back up to 75. Doing a great job against Salamon, who's down low, 5%. Both fighters neck and neck. And Enderstone goes for the throat there and gets the knockout, tying it up 1-1. Now there's a brawl you won't forget anytime soon. Both fighters into the red zone, right around 5%. And it was Enderstone who triumphed on the exchange. Could have gone either way. Keep in mind, as DPS, these two fought back in week 1. And it was Salamon who triumphed that night to go on to fight McGregor in the first championship finale of the year. So Enderstone will let me know when he is ready, and we will begin round number 3. What a brawl there. Going from the, the grinding tank versus tank to DPS versus DPS. And it looks like Salamon has gone back to vengeance. Not sure why Enderstone agreed to that. It's going to be rough sailing for him heading forward. Ender, are you ready? So here we are, River's Heart. You see the waterfall in the background. Beautiful arena here. Beautiful location, I should say. Not really an arena. We will use an arena for the championship finale. And you see these fighters brought together here in week 6. They're all vying for a shot at McGregor's championship, the prestigious War World Championship, which will be on the line later tonight. We have one DPS fighter, one main spec DPS fighter on the roster right now. That is Garlen. I mentioned earlier he's returning for the first time since 2016. And we will be returning to action here in just a moment. Enderstone, are you ready? Enderstone versus Salamon. Tied up 1-1. If you're joining us on Twitch, welcome to week 6 of the Sunday Night Fights 1v1 Gladiatorial Combat season. Enderstone leading, having tied it up. He just got his most recent win, so he gets to let me know when cooldowns are reset, and he gets to initiate, so to speak, in this Horde versus Alliance duel the next round. Enderstone has a lot of momentum coming off of that, but Salamon, of course, switching back to vengeance. These two putting on an entertaining fight, and this is what I was talking about on the Chong Show episode 10. They're fighting to win, and they're fighting to entertain. They're not playing it safe here, going tank versus tank. And I imagine that Salamon's going to go Havoc and Enderstone Blood for the round after this one. So just some sportsmanship there between the two. Enderstone is ready, and round number 3 is ready to commence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enderstone, Salamon, round number 3. Live here from the River's Heart and Sholazar Basin. Remorseless winner being popped from Enderstone. Look at Salamon here displaying his prowess as vengeance, but Enderstone right back up to 100%. The Death Strike killing him. Salamon down to 75%, leaps away. Death Grip back in by Enderstone. The Wrathful Worgen continuing to dish out the punishment. Salamon has cooldowns popped. Trying to get some heals off. Here comes the pain from the Sindori Slayer, looking to slay the beast that is Enderstone. Both fighters again neck and neck at 25%. Watch out for Salamon to heal back up here. Here he goes, down goes Enderstone, and there's your dagger for round number 3. So now Salamon taking back the lead just like that. You got to think he's going to go Havoc here, and Enderstone's going to go Blood for this next one. Salamon leading 2-1. Back and forth. Good showing of skill, display of prowess in their respective specializations. And we'll see here if Enderstone can rebound and tie it up again. Salamon leading 2-1, only needs one more win to take the victory overall in this 5-round contest and advance in the tournament. He'll be fighting Bigstew next if he's able to advance. There's a history there between Bigstew and Salamon, which we'll get to later should he advance. Of course, Enderstone now. Yes, there it is, as I predicted. Right 99.8% of the time, ladies and gentlemen. Salamon switching to Vengeance. Or, excuse me, to Havoc. And Enderstone to Blood here. And we will begin round number 4 in just a few moments whenever Salamon is ready. Enderstone, of course, as I said, looking to tie it up. It'll be his first matchup against Bigstew, the Brahma Bull, who is also returning tonight, like Garlen. 2 shamans returning to skirmish here in the SNF. And Salamon and Enderstone are ready to skirmish here in round number 4, which will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here we go. Enderstone versus Salamon. The Brawl in the Basin. Oh my God, look at the damage. This is why he is called the Wrathful Worgen. This is why he has only suffered 1 knockout as Blood looking to knock out Salamon. And down goes the Sindori Slayer there. That 1 knockout against Enderstone is Blood, coming at the hands of Javar when the Wrathful Worgen made his debut. Now Enderstone is a member of Evolution and a top contender for the world title. He has matured, he has evolved, and he has tied it up 2-2. So here we go. Match point. Tied up. The winner of this next round will advance in the tournament to fight Bigstew, the returning Brahma Bull. Salamon, the Sindori Slayer, just squelched there in his attempt to get any damage off at all against Enderstone. Enderstone just ragdolling the former champion, and there's just a display of the power that Enderstone has as Blood against a DPS fighter, not named Snapewarts, who is the phenomenal one for a reason.
Res pending him.
So here we go. Big. So, Big, your thoughts so far here on Enderstone versus Salamon?
Well, I mean, if I was them, I would both go tank and let it go this one, because it seems like either one that goes DPS, the other one goes tank. It's a quick kill. I'd take my chances.
So you would go Blood here for this next one. Yeah, because if you go DPS, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So we will see here Blood versus Vengeance. Toby, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, so here we go. This next one going to be Vengeance versus Blood, tied up 2-2. Salamon going down there, dropped by Enderstone. The power, the prowess on display there from the punishing Prowler. Enderstone getting the victory, and here we go. The winner of this next one advances to fight Bigstew. And I guess they're going to go DPS versus DPS here. So Frost versus Havoc. We started as Tank versus Tank. Blood versus Vengeance. And now we ended off the complete opposite way in DPS versus DPS. So settle in here. This is the match point, and it will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. No time limit. Everything on the line. Sindorai Slayer versus Wrathful Worgen. Salamon jumping into the air here. Enderstone's got to try to find cover. Tossing down those glaives at Enderstone, who now takes cover behind the log. Up and under they go through the river. And back and forth now, exchanging blows. Enderstone desperately needing heals. He is down to 25%. Salamon down to 75, down to 60. Both of these fighters desperately needing wins on their record. Enderstone dropping low, almost into the red zone, teetering on the brink. There's Metamorphosis. Can Enderstone rebound? Doesn't look like he has enough left in the tank. And Salamon is going to score the knockout to advance in the tournament. So Enderstone yet again denied as Frost. As Blood, he is unstoppable. As Frost, he is very much stoppable, and he has been the last few weeks here in the Sunday Night Fight. So Enderstone unsuccessful once again, and Salamon getting a much-needed series victory to advance against Bigstew in the semifinals. That will be later on tonight. Big, if you'd be so kind as to drop another Warsong offensive banner here. Okay, never mind, Big. We got it. We are getting set for our second and final opening round contest of the evening. Smokythebear. He was just on the Chong Show. Yeah, what he had to say on the Chong Show, his favorite opponents, one of them being Garlen. And the Enhancement Enigma returns here tonight for the first time in 2 years to the Sunday Night Fight stage. Garlen against Smokythebear. The Enhancement Enigma is back at long last. Garlen fighting out of the blue corner, Smoky the red. And it looks like Smoky will be going feral for this one, even though he could go restoration. I think that's a mistake on Smoky's part. I think Garland's going to tear right through feral. But we will find out as this one is about to get underway. Again, 5-round contest. Winner advances to the finale. Not the championship finale, but the finale. And Smokythebear, being the former season champion and officer, will initiate the first duel of the contest. What a treat here. Garland back in action. Smokythebear looking to get back in the title picture. He was just there last week at the Temple of the Jade Serpent. And now going into stealth is Smokythebear, emerging from stealth. Garland still in raptor form. Here comes the pain from the Ashenvale Assassin, looking to assassinate Garland here at the River's Heart. Garland down to 25%. Smokythebear back up almost to full. Garland dangerously low here. Back and forth their health meter goes. And back and forth they exchange blows. Garland at 25%. Smoky right there with him. Garland trying to heal back up. Smokythebear getting that regrowth off. Garland battling back here. Garland into the red zone. Is that it? No, he's still hanging on for the time being until Smokey the Bear lands the dagger and scores the knockout victory in round number 1. So Smokey the Bear coming in as feral, not restoration, and shocking everyone here with a huge victory over Garlen. What a victory for the Ashenvale Assassin. You see why he is called that. Druid versus Shaman. Garlen displaying a little bit of rust there, but nonetheless he will look to rebound in round number 2, and Smokey the Bear will initiate that when he is ready. Big, your thoughts on that first round here and Garlen's first fight since 2016?
Yeah, he hung in there well against Smokey because I know the feral, the bleeding attacks really drained on you, so he did well on that one.
Keep in mind, last week in the championship finale, it was McGregor who utterly dismantled Smokey as feral. A testament to the Notorious One's power and ability. But here tonight, Garlen looking to repeat that success. Another dwarf duelist looking to advance back to the title picture himself and a potential super fight against McGregor, the War of the Wildhammers. Again, Smokey slipping into stealth, waiting, stalking his prey, poised for the strike at any moment. Garlen pacing back and forth in his wolf form, which is glyphed into raptor form. And here comes Smokey the Bear. Both fighters taking relatively low damage so far, but those bleeds are going to start to rack up the pain on Garlen. Feral Druids succeed in longer matches, longer duels, where they can bring the punishment early, dot up their opponent, and then let those bleeds do the work. Garlen doing a much better job as the fight spills over to the shores here of the lake in River's Heart. Smokey now dropping to 25, Garlen at 25 himself. Both fighters again neck and neck. Bare knuckle brawl here between the two. Almost into the red zone. Smokey the Bear barely hanging in there. Garlen's looking for the KO. He's looking for the finish. He's looking for redemption after round number 1 and his first victory since 2016. Smokey looking to hold on. Garlen now low in 5%. Smokey going for the knockout. Pounces and scores the killing blow. What a fight. And we are only in round number 2 here in this 5-round contest. Just getting started here. And already they had delivered a barn burner as Smokey turns the tides and lands that knockout on his old rival Garlen, who so far has been stunned here in this series. Garlen going to have to go back to the drawing board and pull off the hat trick here. He's down 0-2 in the series, needing 3 in a row to advance. And Smokey the Bear will initiate round number 3. What an impressive performance from Smokey as feral. Unbelievable damage, an unbelievable duel, an incredible rivalry. And here in 2018, coming up on the Guild's 10-year anniversary, we have every era represented on this year's Sunday Night Fights roster. We have Big Dad on Bigstew, Iron Templar previously, representing the very early years. Garlen and Smokey, the 2015-2016 eras. Enderstone, the very early Mists of Pandaria era. Toby, the 2017 era and beyond. Before that, every era covered here. And of course myself in the very founding years. This is what it's all about, though. Smokey the Bear versus Garlen here. Smokey joining in 2015, Garlen 2016. Which era is going to triumph here as they look to continue adding pages to their legacies within the arena? That is the question we are about to answer. And Garlen healing back up to 100%. He's got to do a better job here in the late stages of this one, avoiding the devastating dots, trying to dispel. I'm not sure what he can do here. I don't know Shaman well enough, but I do know Smokey's down to 75, and immediately he drops Garlen as well. And here we go again. The shootout in the basin between these two heavyweight power strikers. Smokey the Bear dropped low, staggered, and dropped just like that out of nowhere with thunderous power and precision. Garland's right back into it. Out of nowhere, the enhancement Enigma springing forward and scoring the knockout on Smokey the Bear. Don't count out the former champion yet. I mentioned at our last AFC, Garland, one of just a handful of fighters, Smokey the Bear being another one, Foxy being another one, to have wins over Javar in the 2016 season. Whether Garland was up against Smokey the Bear, Javar, Foxy Hills, some of the best fighters to have ever stepped into the arena, he always had them at the edge of their seat and usually ended the night with them on their heels. Garland is the enhancement Enigma for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. You just saw it there. As deadly as Smokey the Bear is as feral, Garland is just as deadly as enhancement. Two of the best, most skilled players of the 2016 era and of the current era. Squaring off here. Round number 4 about to commence. Garland will initiate the duel. 2-1 Smokey the Bear. Garland looking to tie it up. What an entertaining night of fights it has been and will be heading forward, no doubt. Again, Smokey going into stealth, heading over to the shores, taking the battle over here lakeside. Garland cautiously waiting here. He cannot afford to make any mistakes. He's got to be on point here. One slip up, and he is finished for the evening. Smokey the Bear, so close last week to winning a third title, will look to do so here tonight. But he's got to get through Garland here. He's only one win away. He's got to try to prevent the comeback. And Smokey's got to try to power his way through here as Garland tries to prevent the knockout. Down to 75. Look at the strength of Garland, just taking him from 100 all the way down to 50, dropping him out of nowhere. Thunderous shots from the enhancement Enigma. Vicious, bloody, clawing marks from Smokey the Bear. Down they go to 25%. Garland almost into the red zone. Smokey almost right there with him. Guts. Blood, determination, Garland at 15% down and out. Smokey the Bear wins at 3-1 and defeats Garland in his first fight back after a 2-year hiatus. What a victory for the Ashenvale Assassin. He is moving on in the tournament. And what a duel between these two veterans here. Garland, welcome back to the Sunday Night Fights. Smokey the Bear, welcome to the next round. What a hard-fought victory there by Smokey. He had to play it perfect as well there. Couldn't afford to make any mistakes and played a perfect game as Feral. You know, I said on the Chong Show Big that Smokey is the most versatile player we've probably ever had in the arena. He plays tank, he plays heals, he plays DPS, and right there tonight he showed why I called him the most versatile player there, getting the win as Feral. He can do it all. He's the jack of all trades and the master of all trades, in my opinion. And chief among those trades being restoration and feral. Congratulations to Smokey the Bear. He will face the winner of our next fight here in the semifinals. Bigstew lining up from the blue corner, Salamon from the red. We'll give you some backstory on this one before we get this 5-round contest underway. All right, so Bigstew and Salamon. It was back in the 2017 season. Salamon returned for one night only, dethroned Javar, one of 2 fighters to defeat him that season. It was a back-and-forth brawl before that, though, between Bigstew and Salamon. Restoration versus Vengeance. Bigstew hanging on at just 5% for the remainder of the round. There was about 20 seconds left, and Salamon could not put him away. Bigstew refused to quit, refused to go down. And then the following week, it was a rematch where Bigstew paid Salamon back and dethroned him. So a lot of history here. The trilogy fight now between these two. Bigstew returning to action. Iron Templar going to look to the AFC. Bigstew going to look to his first title win as shaman. And Salamon, being the former champion, will initiate the first round. So here we go. The terrific trilogy. Salamon and Bigstew about to get underway. Buckle up for this one, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. Hex there on Salamon. Not a lot of damage done to Bigstew so far. Bigstew has learned, he has honed his craft. He has been in trials by fire against some of the hardest hitting fighters in the AFC. Shenush, Velhari last season, Javar. And here now up against Salamon. I told you about the history between these two. And now you see the fight between them. With a shot at Smokey the Bear on the line. Who is going to advance to fight the Ashen Veil Assassin? That's the question looming. One of these fighters has the answer. The other one will call it a night here at the river's heart. Spilling over onto the shores of the river. Bigstew and Salamon back and forth. Chain heel cast by Bigstew. Doing a great job kiting. This is shades of Big Dad here. You see the mobility from Bigstew. Keep in mind, Bigstew does have water walking. He can venture out onto the lake if he wants. Of course, Salamon's going to be right there on top of him. There's the Hex against the Sindor Slayer. 30 seconds remaining here in round number 1. Both fighters at 100%. Lava burst being cast from Bigstew. Salamon again going up into the waterfall there. Climbing the steps of the waterfall. Bigstew going to have none of it. He's going to sit back and cast lava bolts. Now he's giving chase. 5 seconds remaining here. Another lava bolt's coming in. Lightning bolt here. And there we go. It will come to the roll. I think Bigstew's got to be a little bit more offensive here in round number 2. But you saw shades of Big Dad there. The most conservative healer that we've ever had in the arena. The most successful conservative player. Just a purebred healer. The best to ever do it, in my opinion, in that aspect. The Guardian of Cenarius now playing as his shaman, the Brahma Bull. And Salamon will roll first. Gentlemen, please announce your roles in the Discord. Salamon rolling first. Salamon rolling a 1. Bigstew should beat it.
I rolled a 2.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Bigstew, get the rolls on camera, Toby.
They are. I'm dying.
A 1 from Salamon and a 2 from Big Stew. The trilogy fight already delivering with the rolls.
Hey, well, I wasted.
Sometimes they can be crazier than the fights themselves, as we just saw there. A 1 and a 2. Oh my God. We have seen 100s, we have seen 1s, we have now seen 1s and 2s. So by hook or by crook, Big Stew's going to take round number 1, and he will initiate round number 2. My goodness, what a tournament we've had. Probably the best of the season so far. And we've had a lot of good ones. But we've had everything here tonight. That just ensured it. So Big Stew going to do his best to kite here. Keep distance from Salamon. Salamon diving right into the fray. 20 seconds down in this one already. Lava burst being interrupted there from Salamon. Big Stew again going to try to create distance. Salamon going to give chase. And keep in mind, the first time these two fought, it was totems and the runes there from the Demon Hunter that were so expertly placed. And here tonight, both fighters doing a good job sidestepping the totems, sidestepping the runes, and just evading. They know each other so well, and that's the thing here. When you fight another fighter 2 times, by the 3rd time, you know what to expect. And that was in Legion, so it's not like the classes have changed too much. There you see the rune dropped again. Big Stew walking right out of it. Totems cast on either side of Salamon, who drops down to 75%. Big Stew doing a hell of a lot more damage this time around, as we have just passed the 1 minute mark. Big Stew again journeying onto the log here. And look at that mobility there, sent all the way to the bottom of the river goes Big Stew. The mobility from Salamon and the explosiveness there. What a shot, sending Big Stew sailing all the way to the bottom of the river. I am not sure what the hell that ability was, but it was entertaining to watch nonetheless. What a maneuver from Salamon, as Big Stew comes swimming back onto the shores, marching back into the fight. 10 seconds remaining here in round number 2. These two leaving it all on the line, leaving no spell uncast, and it will go to the rolls. Once again, no surprise there, but what an entertaining second round. So Big Stew will roll first here. Big, please announce it into the microphone.
51.
51 from the Brahma Bull.
And a 50.
50.
And a 50 from Salamon. Again, Big Stew wins the rolls by just 1 point. Unbelievable. Big Stew up to nothing. And going to initiate round number 3.
Ready?
Yeah.
Big Stew and Salamon both playing perfect games here, but I always say, oh, and again sending Big Stew all the way to the bottom of the river. You never want to leave it to the rolls, because then it is in the hands of Fortuna, the Roman goddess of luck, and anything can happen. Salamon down to 75%. It's not like either one of these players are making mistakes. They're playing a perfect game. And Big Stew is right at 100%. He has barely moved at all health-wise. Determined to get back to the championship finale. Last season, Big Stew made the championship finale more than any fighter besides Javar. Hex there against Salamon. .40 seconds to go here in round number 3. There's the War Stomp there from Big Stew. Going to stun Salamon and buy some more time. Big Stew's a grinder. He's been in this situation before. He knows how to grind it out and bring it to the rolls, and he does his job, does it well, and leaves it in the hands of Fortuna, as I said. Bigstew again being sent to the bottom of the river. You got to worry if that's out of bounds. If Bigstew can make it back in time with 10 seconds remaining. And he does. Makes it back in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it will come to the rolls for a third time in the third fight between Bigstew and Salamon. And we'll see if Bigstew can advance here with another lucky roll of the dice, or if Salamon will be able to buy himself another go at the Brahma Bull. Salamon rolling first.
63.
63 from Salamon.
61.
A 61. So there we go. By 2, Salamon buys himself one more round at the very least. And you got to think, if I'm Salamon, I'm going Havoc here. I don't want to leave it to the rolls again. Chances are you're not going to get the win. But then again, you could tie it up. Who knows? But you need 2 more in a row. I'd go Havoc and try my luck against Bigstew, but we'll see. It looks like he's staying Vengeance, and he will initiate the next duel. So here we go. Salamon and Bigstew going to stay tank versus healer. Illidan's Grasp from Salamon. The Hex Totem, the Voodoo Totem, again dropped by Bigstew. Bigstew taking it to the outside here, taking it off the log. And Salamon giving chase. Bigstew rounding that log there, traversing through the hollowed out center, using that as line of sight. Smart tactic by the general, by the veteran, by a player who has, across Big Dad and Big Dad and Dog Stew, won a total of 7 titles. 2 generals here. SGM Stew, a general in the Alliance Revolution, a warlord in the Warsong Offensive. Salamon, a warlord on Amelia. They are seasoned, they are experienced, and they are both looking to advance to fight Smokey the Bear. A lot of abilities being used here. I know the health isn't moving a lot, but the abilities sure are, and so are the weapons. Back and forth they go. Spells being cast by Bigstew. Lava burst there right to the face of Salamon. Gift of the Queen. Bigstew gonna heal up here. Try to get some more offensive abilities off. Salamon having none of it. 30 seconds to go. Salamon diving right back on top of Bigstew, using the leaps there the Demon Hunters have. Right into a Hex, though, that time, to stay on top of the Brahma Bull. And he's the Brahma Bull for a reason. He's godlike as a healer, and he is hard as hell to stay on top of if you're melee. He's a bucking bronco for sure. We're seeing Salamon try his hand at the rodeo here tonight. So far, Bigstew doing a good job. There's the first time we've seen that from Bigstew, the cooldown's being popped. And again, that thunderous haymaker knocking Bigstew down to the center of the river. This one will come to the rolls. So both fighters diving to the center of the river, right here at the river's heart. And both fighters will roll up next. Bigstew rolling first, looking to advance against Smokey the Bear. The winner of that fight advancing for the championship against McGregor.
$46.
46 from Bigstew.
34.
34 from Salamon, and it will be Bigstew versus Smokey the Bear, Restoration Shaman against either Feral Druid or Restoration Druid. 2 veterans again clashing here the winner fighting McGregor. That was our last fight here at River's Heart. Now we move over to the Maker's Perch, where we will have our finals and then championship finale here in week 6 of the Sunday night fights. Bigstew victorious in his return. We had 2 returning shamans ready to skirmish here in Sholazar. Garlen unsuccessful. He was knocked off by Smokythebear. Bigstew successful against Salamon. Now, Smokythebear will look to eliminate yet another shaman, another returning shaman, from the tournament, as he looks to get another crack at the notorious one McGregor, who will be debuting his Mistweaver spec tonight, claiming that Mystic Mac has arrived. So here we go, over to the Maker's Perch. It was here, back in 2015, that Glenmorrow and Cathaldus squared off in the first ever Canadian versus Canadian main event, the championship on the line. That night, Glenmorrow defeated Cathaldus resoundingly with a 4-0 victory in their best of 7. Tonight, Smokythebear and Bigstew will look to follow in the footsteps of Glenmorrow and Cathaldus against McGregor. So here we go. Let's get a Warsong offensive banner up to the right here, and I'll drop my Alliance Revolution one to the left as we set the stage for our finals. History was made here back in 2015, and history will be made here yet again tonight. As Smokythebear duels with Bigstew. Blue markers up right here, Toby. What a battle this is going to be, and it's going to be interesting to see. I believe Smoky is staying as feral, so we'll see if Bigstew can withstand the damage from the Ashenvale Assassin. So blue's up here and red's up over here, right beneath this fallen guardian. All right, banners have been dropped, markers have been set, and we are set to commence here with our finals of the Week 6 tournament. Smokythebear versus Bigstew. Cook your popcorn, grab your beverage of choice, and settle in for 5 rounds of Feral Druid versus Restoration Shaman action. Horde versus Alliance. Smokythebear making the finale last week. We'll look to do so again this week. And Bigstew looking to return to the championship finale for the first time since last year. So here we go. Round number 1. Bigstew versus Smokythebear begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bigstew in wolf form there. Smoky pouncing immediately. Will the Brahma Bull be able to buck off the Ashenvale Assassin? Doing a good job so far. Smokythebear down to 75%. Look at the damage from Bigstew, now rooted in place. And keep in mind, Hex does not work against Druids in shape-shifting form. Bigstew down to 75%, down to 50. Those bleeds starting to take a toll. Bigstew bleeding out all over the arena floor here, where the blood of Cathaldus and Glenmorrow was shed back in 2015. The blood, sweat, and tears of Bigstew and Smokythebear will be added here tonight. Almost 1 minute down here, and Bigstew's back up to 100% health. Remember, if Big Stew heals through here and survives the 2 minutes, he wins the round automatically. Smokey the Bear has to pull something out of his hat here in the form of a knockout. Less than 60 seconds remaining. 50 seconds to go here. Big Stew looking to hang on. Vintage SGM Stew. Conservative. Picking and poking, counter-striking away. And Smokey the Bear's dots taking their toll, bringing Big Stew down to 95%. But the grit and the grind of the General on full display. Smokey the Bear down to 75%. Big Stew looking to hang on and looking to do some damage of his own. Smokey the Bear struggling to get a foothold here. Big Stew's looking to walk his way to a round 1 victory. 5 seconds to go here. Smokey the Bear now back up to 100%. And Big Stew will take round number 1. Big Stew, the Brahma Bull, successfully bucking off Smokey the Bear as the Ashenvale Assassin tries his hand at the rodeo here tonight in feral. And I think Smokey will stay feral for this next round. You got to think he has a little bit more up his sleeve, but he may get rested. Yes, he is staying feral. And Big Stew will stay as restoration. DPS versus heals. Winner fights McGregor as Mistweaver. Big Stew going to let those cooldowns reset. He has earned the rest period. What a first round between these two. That explosiveness we saw earlier against Garlen being warded off by Big Stew. And Big Stew, are you ready?
Ready.
Round number 2 will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gift of the Queen able to get off there from Big Stew. Smokey the Bear bringing the punishment. Big Stew shrugging it off. Tarn versus Night Elf. 2 veterans and 2 season champions. Keep in mind, in 2016, Smokey the Bear won it in the regular season, the traditional season, and then Big Dad won it later in the fall season. Of course, Smokey winning it against Foxy Hills, Big Dad against Javar. And here they are fighting. 2 of the 2016 season champs, toe-to-toe. This is what you came to see as Big Stew drops down to 60% and heals himself all the way back up to 100. Smokey now down to 95%. The Ancient Maker's Perch, the ocean behind it. The backdrop for this one. The history is rich in this place, and so is round number 2. And Smokey the Bear gets Big Stew down to 75%. Big Stew now feeling the effects of the bleeds. How much can he shrug off here? Down to 25%. Smokey going for the knockout. Big Stew's looking to hold on. There's the healing surge. Lands it. 2 healing surges in a row there. Neither one interrupted by the Ashenvale Assassin. And now it is Smokey who's down to 75%. Both fighters back up to 100. Smokey slightly dipping below that. With less than 10 seconds remaining, Big Stew looking to get a round 2 victory in 3, 2, 1. And Big Stew takes round number 2 here against Smokey the Bear. Big Stew 1 victory away now from getting his first shot at McGregor. So here we go. Smokey the Bear giving it his all. Big Stu taking it and giving some of his own punishment back. Smokey the Bear not going to shift to resto. He's going for the win. He's playing to win. That is why Smokey the Bear is such an entertaining fighter. He plays to win. He's not going to go safe here. He wants the knockout. Will he get it? Only Smokey the Bear and Big Stu can answer that. Up next in round number 3. Big Stu, are you ready?
Ready.
Fight number 3 begins. Up. Hold on, we're not starting yet. Smokey jumped the gun. That's a warning right there. All right, Big, let me know when your cooldowns are back up.
I'm ready.
All right, round number 3 begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here we go. Big Stu versus Smokey the Bear. Smokey eager to pounce. And finally gets the chance to do so. Legend Killer. Springing to action, taking some damage. We're less than 2 minutes away here from finding out whether Smokey the Bear will stay in this series or Big Stu will advance to the championship finale. Week 6 has been unbelievable so far. An incredible series of matches. We've seen it all. Here in Sholazar, our return here, a very successful and entertaining one. And Smokey the Bear and Big Stu looking to continue that here in round number 3. Never count Smokey the Bear out. He's got a lot of damage, a lot of dots. And Big Stu, notice this from Big Stu. He is purging the dots that Smokey puts up on him. That is a big part of his success here. So those dots that are so crucial for Smokey the Bear being removed and shrugged off by Big Stu. Every time Big Stu gets a breather, he's removing those dots. And Smokey the Bear now down to 75%, trying to get some ground and pound. Big Stu again shrugs it off, but not this time. He gets stunned, caught, and again walks it off and marches towards a meeting of destiny against the reigning champion, McGregor. Smokey the Bear looking to knock out Big Stu where Glenmorrow knocked out Cathaldus back in 2015. Lava burst here as Big Stu looks to do the same against the Ashenvale Assassin. Both fighters again right around 95%. 15 seconds remaining here. Smokey the Bear has to pull it off here or he's not going to do it at all. 5 seconds remaining. Big Stu looking to hold on and advance to the championship finale. Can he do it? Yes, he can. The Brahma Bull victorious. And the Brahma Bull will square off with the Notorious up next. There is your finish. And there is your new number 1 contender. Big Stu, the Brahma Bull against Mystic Mac with the championship on the line. 7 rounds to determine who our champion is. Big Stu looking to win his first championship. McGregor looking to retain his 4th. A show of respect there from Big Stu to Smokey the Bear. So here we go. And Big Stu, his first championship finale of 2018. Big Stu, his return to the arena about to commence. Let's refresh banners here for the main event. Alliance versus Horde. The last time McGregor was up against a Horde fighter with the championship on the line, it was against Reese Puff as Retribution. DPS versus DPS. Tonight, healer versus healer. McGregor. Mystic Mac as Mistweaver. Toby, go ahead and face the champ. Here we go. Your reigning champion, Mystic Mac, about to put it all on the line against Big Stu. There you see the gold marker being dropped at the center. That is what is on the line here, indicating that the championship is up for grabs. 7 rounds to go, 2 minutes per round. Mistweaver versus Restoration. Brahma Bull versus Mystic Mac. And Salamon and Garlen will be on commentary. Garlen, are you there and are you prepared to commentate this 7-round main event?
Yeah, I'm here.
Toby, are you prepared and ready?
As ready as I can be.
All right, so 2 old friends here, Toby and Garlen. Salamon and Garlen going to take it away on the commentary booth. McGregor and Bigstew going to take it away here with the championship on the line. Round number 1 begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Big Stu starting off with a hex. He gets McGregor already down 75%. Big Stu staying at 100. McGregor dropping to below 70, below 60 now. McGregor's back up to 100%. No damage has been done to Big.
Big doing his best job to keep McGregor around on this one. Health total's not moving very far.
Not much damage being done here anymore. Both fighters staying above 100%, or at 100%. Oh, McGregor's down at 85% and dropping. Oh, back up he goes.
And that will do it. Comes to the rolls. Big Stu will roll first. Toby will verify it.
Nine.
And a 94 from McGregor, who takes round number 1. And McGregor going to switch to Windwalker. That's what brought him to the dance. He's going to go for the knockout here in round number 2. So here we go. DPS versus healer. McGregor looking to do what Smokey the Bear could not and Salmon could not earlier. There will be no more rolls here tonight. McGregor going to stay Windwalker for the remainder of this championship finale. 2 minutes per round. Potentially 6 more to go. Salamon and Garlen take it away. Round number 2 about to begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Big drop there, quick, briefly below 90%, but he's back up. McGregor seems to be taking most of the damage now. Both fighters about 90%. Cut your karma out. Big down below 70.
Bloodlust just came out from Bigstew.
Big's getting those heals off, they need to be interrupted. McGregor down below 80, almost below 70. Hitting 65. Big holding on at 100%, now at 90. Dropping. Staying roughly around 90 while... Oh, McGregor's pulled himself back up. McGregor's dropped down below 90% again. Big's holding on at 80.
They're out a whole lot more spells than last time.
Oh yeah. We're seeing a lot more damage being taken by Big this time as well, but both players are taking damage from Big. Hold on though. He's dropped below 50% now.
And that will do it. Bigstew, a flurry from McGregor at the end, but not enough. Bigstew takes round number 2 and ties it up 1-1. What a series so far. McGregor getting the victory via the rolls. A valiant effort in round number 2, nearly knocking out the Brahma Bull, but Bigstew pulls through, soldiers through, and survives the 2-minute time limit to answer McGregor with a victory of his own. Again, it was here where Glenmorrow defeated Cathaldus. Glenmorrow's first championship coming in Zuldrak, where McGregor won his third title. Glenmorrow defeated Javar that night. McGregor defeated Iron Templar. Bigstew's Paladin. Here tonight, not Paladin McGregor's fighting, but Shaman. And it's not Cathaldus against McGregor, who's looking to follow in Glenmorrow's footsteps. It is Bigstew. So here we go. Fight number 3 about to commence. Bigstew, the Brahma Bull, looking to win his first title. McGregor looking to retain his fourth, as I mentioned earlier. If you're just joining us on Twitch, welcome to Week 6 of the Sunday Night Fights 2018 season. We are live here from the Maker's Perch, the site of the first ever Clash of Canadians. The site of McGregor versus Bigstew for the first time ever. Big, are you ready?
Right.
Round number 3 begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pitch crumbs coming out already. Big's dropping below 75. He's now below 50%. Can Big hold on? Big holds on. Get the heal. Oh, that healing wave interrupted. Another interrupt on the heal. And another. Big's now in the red zone. Big get that heal off back up to 30%. McGregor's staying on top of him, keeping his stuns up. Big now back up to 75, 80, almost 100%. McGregor's at flat below 75%. Both fighters going back and forth. Both players almost at 100% now. Big dropping back down below 50. Players making that. Now big dropping. So big focus to come home right back on as always. Back down below 80%.
And that will do it, and that is why healers and tanks have been allowed in the Sunday night fights again, so you could see that kind of performance from Bigstew. McGregor coming so close to the knockout, and Bigstew denying him. For every stun, there was an answer, and McGregor only has so many stuns and interrupts at his disposal. Bigstew answering them all with heals of his own to get the victory, now leading 2-1. Got to think McGregor is adapting. He is learning. He is finding a rhythm here, and Big Stew's got to watch out for that lethal damage. Almost caught the Brahma Bull in the last round. Championship on the line. Plenty of rounds to go here. McGregor going to look to tie it up next 2-2. Big Stew leading 2-1. Round number 4 about to commence. Salamon, your thoughts on that last round?
Honestly, I was surprised at the beginning that McGregor was doing as much damage as he was. Not really surprised by the damage itself, but just that it got off. And honestly, it was a phenomenal fight. I think Big held on well. He kept moving and just keeping the kite on, but McGregor was always on top of him. It was a hard fight.
Big Stew has defeated Salamon and Smokythebear on his way to this point. He is the best he has ever been as Restoration. He is in top form here tonight. I think, Salamon, you would agree to that, having fought him 3 times over the last season and this one. I think you have to admit that it was a different Big Stew you fought tonight.
Yes, I would.
Big Stew has been to the championship finale more times than anyone besides Javar over the last 2 seasons. And he has been denied each of those times. Tonight, he's looking to make sure that it's a different outcome. We'll find out. Up next, if McGregor's able to answer and tie it up 2-2. 4th round begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
McGregor's putting out everything to get Big Stew down as low as he can. Big Stew drops below 90%. There's a touch of death. He's done. Too big for him. Big dropping that healing high showing up. Big now below 50%. McGregor staying at 100. Plus 90. Big holding on, seemingly to press out the damage from the quick fury. McGregor stayed down at below 25% in the red zone. Can McGregor get the knockout? Can Big hold on?
McGregor scores the knockout to tie it up 2-2. Unbelievable. Just when you thought Bigstew was just unbeatable, McGregor brings in the knockout to tie it up. This is the perfect finale to a almost perfect tournament. I mean, all you could ask for between Smokey the Bear against Garlen, the DPS versus DPS thriller, Enderstone and Salamon showing off their prowess. Salamon against Bigstew in the trilogy fight, and now Bigstew against McGregor, getting the opportunity against Smokey the Bear, putting on a healing clinic. McGregor able to do what Smokey the Bear and Salamon could not. Here scoring the knockout, the first knockout of 2018 against Bigstew. Catching the stun there at the end. It is anyone's game here and anyone's guess who is going to emerge from the Maker's Perch as champion. Enderstone, my broadcast partner, feeling a little bit under the weather here tonight. I haven't had him on the broadcast booth much, but Ender, your thoughts so far on McGregor versus Bigstew?
It's really been back and forth. There's been some points where there hasn't been much movement in the health, but there are moments where it can differ in how each fighter's performing, but I don't know who's going to win this one. It could be brought to the rolls once more, or there could be another possible knockout, but either way, it's going to be a great fight.
Are you surprised McGregor was able to get the knockout on Bigstew there in that last round?
Not very. McGregor's known for being a complete monster in SNF. Doesn't matter what spec, he's always going to go over it.
And, of course, McGregor putting his AFC career on hold to take the SNF by storm, and the AFC has wins over Foxy Hills, who retired the Phenom from AFC action. Big Dad, you name it. McGregor has done it in the AFC and now looking to retain his fourth title here tonight. What a series this has been. A rare showing of respect there from the Notorious One to his opponent, Bigstew. Big Dad against Javar, Doc Stew against Chong, you name it. Iron Warlord and SGM Stew have brawled it out across the world of Warcraft. And here tonight they're looking to continue their rivalry with McGregor and Big Stew. Big Stew so close yet again to a championship. His first title on Big Stew, it would mean for him. We'll see if he can take the lead once more in this best of 7. Here we go. Garlen. Is Garlen back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so Garlen and Salamon take it away for commentary here. McGregor versus Bigstew coming up. Fight number 5 begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Big Stu managing to keep his health up through the fight. Starting to drop down now at 60%. Needs to build some range on McGregor there. He's going to go down. Totem starting to come down from Big Stu. McGregor staying at 100%. McGregor really bringing the hurt this time around. Big Stu trying what he can to get some heals off. Big Stu so focused on healing this round, hasn't done a lick of damage to McGregor yet. No, McGregor falling to 90%.
Oh, that healing surge got interrupted. Big using good heals to keep himself in the game. Now they're interrupted.
Ooh, Big Stu falling 25%. McGregor looking for the knockout. There it is.
And McGregor leads 3-2.
Big Stu reincarnating this time.
What a knockout. And what a comeback for McGregor here. Back-to-back knockouts against the Brahma Bull. Smoky, you played Restoration Shaman. What does Big Stu have to do to get back into this one and regain his rhythm? It seems McGregor has figured something out. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
Smoky.
he really needs to just get some distance and keep a little bit of distance in between him and McGregor.
So McGregor one win away here. Thank you, Smokey, and thank you to all of our broadcast partners here tonight who have joined me and who have helped commentate this historic main event and our historic return to Sholazar Basin. Garlen, Salamon, the cameraman recording here, doing a fantastic job as always. Thanks to Megatobi 2 for that. And thanks to all the fighters. What a tournament it has been. McGregor, as I said, one knockout away, 1 second, one mistake from Big Stu, and McGregor will retain the championship, again following in the footsteps of Glenmorrow, his idol, his hero, as a dwarf duelist. Big Stu needing 2 wins back-to-back. He needs to survive 4 more minutes of action against McGregor, and he will claim his long-awaited first title. Salamon, what's your pick for this fight overall? Who do you think is going to walk out of here as the reigning War World Champion?
Honestly, the person I'm seeing as of the last few fights walking out of here, I see McGregor doing it, but the one I really want to do it is Big Stu, because McGregor's held the title too long.
Give me your belt. All right, Garlen, your pick here for Big Stu versus McGregor. Who's going to walk out as champ?
I think if Big Stu can manage to break away from McGregor for a time and manage to keep that distance, he might just be able to pull this one out.
Keep in mind, Big Stu has been through the gauntlet here tonight. McGregor has awaited him in the championship finale. Big Stu against Salamon, against Smokythebear, the fatigue setting in, and Big Stu has to pull it together here, and he has to regain his composure, that success he had in the second round and against Smokythebear, if he wants to claim the first title. This is what it's all about. Overcoming the fatigue, overcoming the gauntlet, and overcoming your opponent. We'll see if Big Stu can do it here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
McGregor doing his best to close that gap. Bigstew trying to kite him around as best as possible. Bigstew landing 2 hex totems now. Bigstew starting to drop down a little bit.
Has been dropped. Bigstew on 30% on the complete red zone. McGregor's bringing the pain. Big needs to hold on here if he wants to win.
Bigstew back up to almost 100% there. Three for 3 on those hex totems this round. Bigstew doing a great job keeping those heals up this round.
And Bigstew will tie it up 3-3. That was unbelievable clutch healing there from Bigstew. I thought I had the knockout and the championship. Wow. Bigstew from the red zone all the way back up to almost 100%, as Garlen called out, landing those clutch totems, the hex totems. These two are going to go... Oh, I'm sorry, Selma. I meant to hit the Guardian. Whoops, totally my bad. Accident. That wasn't, though. So, McGregor and Bigstew, as I said, going the distance. Championship round here. Match point. We've had our predictions. Smokey the Bear, who do you think's going to take it here? Tied up 3-3.
If Big can keep up get the distance and keep the hills up, I think he's going to.
McGregor, Bigstew, your championship finale. What a barn burner it has been so far. You got to think it's going to deliver here in the 7th and final round of the evening and the 7th and final round of week 6. There you see the banner being dropped by Bigstew. There you see the banner dropped by McGregor. Alliance Revolution versus Warsong Offensive. The only other Warsong offensive champion this season was Reese Puff. Bigstew looking to become the second. The 7th and final round begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
McGregor doing a good job to close the distance this round. Bigstew starting to drop low. Ooh, Bigstew almost doing his best to keep them healing up. with a wave of uninterrupted heals.
The interrupt, I casted it. It didn't hit. It didn't land. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Grounding totem.
Grounding totem there. The reversal from Big Stew. The counter striker there. All right, that answers it.
Big home run well.
Big Stew dropping a range of totems here.
60 seconds remaining.
It's all going to come down to that fist. So. Big Stew just kiting them around. There went the fist and it didn't do enough damage.
Five seconds remaining.
And Big Stew's breaking free.
And Big Stew with the counter strike totem, countering McGregor's lethal damage, which would have retained him the title. Big Stew, the Brahma Bull, is your new War World Champion. Big Stew, please step to the center here. At long last, after one season and then his return here tonight, Big Stew, at long last ascending the mountaintop and claiming a historic first title, one of just a few. You can count them on your hand, on your fingers, how many shaman champions we have had. Garlen comes to mind. And really, that's about it. Big Stew now taking his place as the first restoration shaman ever to win the championship here at the Maker's Perch. Big Stew has made his presence known here, overcoming Salamon, Smokythebear, and McGregor, handing him his second loss from a Horde fighter, the first being against Reese Puff, and McGregor's third loss overall on the season. The other coming against Acrebus. What a victory for Big Stew. Now your reigning champion. Who will be able to stop the Brahma Bull? Who is going to try their hand at the rodeo? We're going to find out next week. Sunday Night Fights, Week 7, next Sunday at 6 p.m. server 9 Eastern Time. Thank you for watching, everybody. And until next Sunday, we press on.